Hello, and welcome to the Math Review. In this lesson, we're going over how to divide decimals. We'll go over this example right here. And if you have any questions at all, make sure you leave them in the comment section below. We love to help. Now, on with the show. So when it comes to dividing decimals, we need to make sure that we follow three simple rules. Now, I'm going to go over each of these steps as I perform the problem. But the very first thing I'll do before that is I'm going to change it from the standard division notation to this long division notation. And you might hear me say things like inside the house or outside the house. That just talks about this long division symbol here. The first thing I need to remember is that this number here in this notation is my dividend, which means that this number here is my divisor. Now I should know exactly where to place them in long division notation. My dividend is what's getting divided, so that's going to go inside the house. And my divisor is what's doing the dividing, so I'll put that outside the house. Now that I have it set up, I can go over each of these three steps for dividing decimals. Step number 1. We've got to turn our divisor, 0.8, into a whole number. But how exactly do I do that? I need to make sure I move the decimal point to the right as needed. In other words, I'm going to take this decimal point and move it to the right as much as possible so that this becomes a whole number. I don't want it to be 0.8, I want it to just be 8. And how many places does this have to move for that to happen? Well, that would be one place value. So I'll just draw an arrow to show that movement here. We're done with step 1. Let's go on to step 2. Step 2 is to move the decimal point in the dividend, here it's 9.32, the same number of places as the divisor, which is what we did here. Since I moved this decimal point one place value, I'm going to move this one place value as well. So now this decimal point is no longer here, it's going to be here. And then step 3 is to rewrite the question. Since I moved this decimal point one place to the right, this isn't 0.8 anymore. It's 8. So let's write that here. So what's this number now? Is it 9.32? Nuh-uh, it's 93.2. And we'll write that here. So this here is my new problem. But let's rewrite this even neater and bring it up so we have enough space for our work. So I hope you noticed that when I rewrote this, I made sure I left plenty of space in between. And there's a reason for that. Most of the time, students know the math, but make mistakes with their work. So I like them to leave space between their columns and to draw lines in between. And that's just so that their work is lined up neatly so they're more likely to get the correct answer. And the second thing I tell students to do is to bring their decimal up in their answer. And so now we can start our long division, starting with this column here. So can 8 go into 9? Yeah, it can go in one time because 1 times 8 is 8. I'll put that here and then I'll subtract. 9 minus 8 is 1. Since I still have a value in the right column, I bring that down and repeat the process. So now we're not going to try to put 8 into 9, we'll try to put 8 into 13. And how many times can that happen? Well, 8 goes into 13 one whole time. And 1 times 8 is 8. When I subtract that, I get 5. Since there's still a value to the right, I bring that down and again repeat the process. So now the question is, how many times can 8 go into 52? Well, that would be 6. Because 6 times 8 is 48. Now let's subtract this. We can't subtract 8 from 2, so we're going to have to borrow. This 5 will become a 4, and this 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. and 4 minus 4 is 0. But that'll be in the front of the number, so it doesn't really matter. Now here's an issue. Even though we don't have any more numbers to the right, we still have a value here that's not 0. So what we'll have to do is we're going to have to annex a 0. So we'll put a 0 here, and then we'll bring it down, and repeat the process. How many times can 8 go into 40? Well, that's 5 times, because 5 times 8 is 40. I subtract that, and now my final answer is 0. And since my remainder is 0, and I don't have any more numbers in the column to the right, we're done. So our final answer is 11.65, or more properly read as 11 and 65 hundredths.